One of the biggest shocks that people have when they're moving to Miami from another state is realizing how much you're gonna pay for property insurance. What you pay in a year in Chicago, we pay in a month. So the sticker shock that comes with insurance is wild with every family I help relocating to Miami. This video is gonna tell you 5 things that you're probably not thinking about when it comes to insurance on the home you're buying in Miami. Stick around to listen to all 5, and I hope it helps you understand a little bit more about what to expect when it comes to homeowners insurance on your new home in Miami. My name is Lindley Cherobia. I'm a residential realtor here in Miami. I was born in Coral Gables. I grew up in Pinecrest. I went to school in Palmetto Bay. I live in South Miami. I roam these streets every day. I've been helping buyers and sellers navigate this market for almost 19 years. I've sold well over $300 million worth of real estate. I know it like the back of my hand. So if you have questions, I'm always here to help. You need to hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos like this, keeping you informed about all things happening in Coral Gables. Like this video and hit my Calendly link down below if you want to set up an appointment to talk. Now let's dive into what the is going on with insurance in Miami. Starting with number 1. The inspection reports that you're gonna get that need to go to your insurance agent. So you're buying a home in Miami, it's time to do inspections, and they're gonna throw out all these different kind of reports that you need, and none of it's gonna mean anything to you. So you're gonna do a regular home inspection that covers all the normal home inspection things, but then they're gonna also do 2 other inspections that you're gonna get separate reports for. One is called a 4-point inspection, and one of them is called a wind mitigation inspection. And here is the difference between the 2. A 4-point inspection literally looks at 4 points of the house: the roof, the air conditioner, aka mechanical, the plumbing, and electric. Roof, mechanical, plumbing, electric. If any one of those 4 points doesn't pass the inspection, you're gonna have a tough time getting insurance. So let's talk about them. The roof. If your roof is approaching 30 years and it's tile, approaching 20 years and it's shingle, or approaching 15 years and it's flat, it is possible that the inspector is going to say,
the roof has no life left and it's not insurable.
Or if your roof has any leak anywhere, they will note that on the 4-point inspection, and you will be required to fix the roof leak before the closing. Well, you or the seller.
Why me? Why me?
Somebody's gonna have to fix that roof leak before the closing. Number 2, the AC. Is it working properly? That one's easy. Number 3, the plumbing. Does any of the plumbing have any leaks? Plumbing's kind of hard to determine if there's leaks. If there's crawl space for the house, maybe they can see a plumbing leak. But if there's a slab, you can't see a plumbing leak under the house. So I don't see a lot of plumbing problems on 4 points, but the electric, oh my gosh, I see problems all the time. So when it comes to the electric part of the 4 points, if any of the breakers in the electric panel are double tapped, they will have to be fixed before the closing. Or if the electrical panel itself is a brand that is no longer insured, like Federal Pacific, the electric panel will have to be changed either prior to the closing or just after the closing. So the results of the 4-point inspection are actually very important. If you have electrical double taps or a roof leak or something up with the air conditioner and those don't pass this inspection, you are going to have problems getting insurance. That's one of the 2 insurance reports. The other one is called a wind mitigation inspection. This report tells the insurance agency generally about the roof and about the wind protection. What kind of hurricane protection does this house have? So let's start with the roof. I am no expert on a wind mitigation report, but I know that it wants to know, how is the roof attached to the house? The best way say is if the roof is double strapped. How often is there a nail in the column holding the roof to the house? These kinds of details matter to the insurance company.
That's correct.
If the house isn't brand new, chances are the roof isn't double strapped, and that's okay. But if it is double strapped, you get better insurance rates, you get credits, you get a chance to bring your insurance premiums down. And the same goes with window protection. So here's a general rule of thumb. Whether you have shutters or impact windows, it's the same in the eyes of the insurance carrier. All the insurance carrier wants to know is that you have protection for every opening in your house. So they're gonna look at literally every opening, every window, every door, the garage door. Are all of these openings protected? You could have 100 windows in your house, and if 99 of them are impact windows and one of them is not, and it doesn't have a hurricane shutter, then you get 0 credits for impact windows. So it's all or nothing, which is why it's important when you're inspecting a home to understand if either you have impact windows or some kind of approved hurricane shutter for every opening. That includes the garage door, every door, whether there's a window on it or not. So the wind mitigation inspection will tell the insurance company, yes, this house has full protection, Miami-Dade County approved, whether it's the impact window or the shutter, it doesn't matter. Or no, it doesn't. When we bought our house, we had full protection on our house from the previous owner, except the front door. It didn't have a shutter. So we had to buy a shutter only for our front door in order to bring the price of our insurance down dramatically. The cost of covering the front door paid for itself in 2 years.
Wait, really?
Yes, so make sure you know if all of the openings of the house are protected or not. Okay, that was number 1. Number 2. A lot of insurance companies will no longer cover cast iron plumbing. And you need to know that because if you're buying a home with cast iron plumbing, the reason they're not covering it is because it probably needs to be changed. And they know if it hasn't been changed, you're gonna come after them to get money to replace it. So they're just excluding it from policies. So you need to make sure if you're buying a house that still has cast iron, is this in my insurance policy or is it excluded? If it's excluded, you might want to talk to the owner about giving you a credit to cover the cost of replacing it because you might have to do that yourself. Number 3, it's flood insurance. I think when people move to Miami and they hear flood zone, they panic. What can we be doing buying a house in a flood zone? Miami's gonna be underwater in 10 years. Oh my gosh, flood zone this, flood zone that. The truth of the matter is this. A lot of Miami is considered inside of a flood zone. I've lived here for 48 years. I've never had a house flood. I hardly know anybody that has. Do I know people that have had water intrusion in their homes? Yes, I do. Were they close to big sources of water? Yes, they were. You know, do people have floods that aren't near the water? Yeah, not from rising tides. So most of Pinecrest, a lot of Palmetto Bay, a lot of Coral Gables, any gated community on the water. Look, there's a lot of Miami that's considered flood zone. Don't panic and think my house is gonna flood. You need to talk to the homeowner, talk to the neighbors, ask your agent, what's the flood history here to really understand what the risk is. When it comes to flood insurance, here's what you really need to know. Flood insurance is the only type of insurance where you can assume the policy from the current homeowner. It's amazing. A lot of people that have had flood policies for a long time have crazy good rates. I'm talking they pay less than $1,000 a year for flood policies.
Oh, right.
That is unheard of today. So if you're buying a home and it's in a flood zone and you're getting quotes that make you want to cry, ask the homeowner what they currently pay and you can assume their policy. All you have to do is get a copy of their insurance policy, give it to your insurance person, and they can transfer the policy over to you. So flood insurance is a real thing. Your lender is going to require you to have it if you're living in a flood zone. But just know you can always assume the policy of the current owner to help save a couple bucks. And then don't panic about living in a flood zone in Miami. We have so many of them. Do your research, do your due diligence, understand if this area has ever been flooded before you make a decision about if you feel comfortable buying or not in that neighborhood. Number 4. I don't think people always realize this. In Miami, a lot of our real estate deals are cash deals where the buyers are not getting a mortgage. And here's the thing. If you're buying a property in Miami and you're not getting a mortgage, you're not required to get insurance. Now, I'm not advising you not to, but the cost of windstorm insurance in Miami is very high. So I know a lot of people who have elected to self-insure instead of getting a wind policy because they felt comfortable not paying that premium every year. And just knowing that if there was ever any major damage to the house, they could afford to fix it without having to pay the cost of that premium every year. Now, if you're getting a mortgage or you need a mortgage, you have to have a wind policy. There is no way around it. But if you're paying cash with no intention of borrowing money, you don't have to get insurance if you don't want to. It's up to you. You might decide to insure the contents or have liability insurance. You'd be crazy not to. But you don't have to get flood and wind if you don't want to. That's your decision. Number 5, and the last thing that I would tell every single buyer that's thinking about buying in Miami is this. You should get your insurance quotes done during the inspection period of your contract. Do not wait until you get through inspections and you've negotiated with the seller to then go get insurance estimates. No, no, no. This is why. First of all, you might find that there's something wrong with the house that's causing you to have super high insurance rates that push your debt to income ratios over where they need to be, and now you can't buy the house because your insurance is too high. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
And it could be fixed if you knew about it during the inspection period and you could talk to the seller about it. In addition, if there's things that come up on the 4-point that need to be fixed, you can negotiate that with the seller to get all those things handled at the same time. Obviously, if you can't get insurance, you can't buy the house. So your deposit's safe. But if it's that the insurance is higher than you wanted it to be, but you still qualify for the loan, now you're stuck. So all of my buyers know we have to get quotes for insurance before the inspection period is over because we need to know what is that going to look like? What is your premium going to be? And is it affordable? And can you afford it? And are you okay with it? I can't tell you the number of times in the past when these numbers came in after we've done inspections and you're agreeing to buy the house and you go, my insurance is what? It's better to know that before you commit. So my best advice, get those 2 reports back from your inspector, the 4-point and the wind mitigation. Send them immediately to your insurance agent. Or if you're working with a good realtor, they will do it for you. They will get a quote so that you have at least a ballpark of what you should be expected to pay in your insurance premium each year. It's so important that you do it before the inspection period is over. It's the best advice I give to all my clients. So listen to me and do it, okay?
Okay.
So here's the good news. A lot of people live in Miami. A lot of people have mortgages on their homes. A lot of people have insurance, pay for insurance, get insurance renewed every year. It's not impossible, but you are going to want to do your homework, shop around, get quotes from different insurance agencies because everybody's going to give you something different. You're going to need to learn about citizens and flood policies and all the different ways that we insure our homes here. You're going to be able to get it done. Don't let it scare you away, but just go into it it knowing now a little bit more than you did a few minutes ago. And if you have more questions about insurance or about buying in general in Miami, that's what I'm here for. I'd be so happy to answer your questions anytime. If you leave a comment, I'm the one answering them. If you have a question, I'm the one answering it. Make sure you get in touch with me and I'd be happy to help. Whether you subscribe to my channel and continue seeing videos going forward, or you go follow me on Instagram at Lindley Residential, or you set up an appointment right here using my Calendly link, I'd be super happy to talk to you anytime. I'm your Miami realtor, real estate gal, here to help with all your questions, insurance related or otherwise. See you soon. Bye.